Good morning, Enid. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this Thursday, January 3rd of 2019 as we start our, is this our fourth year? I'm losing track. I think the beginning of our fourth year of providing live television for you every Thursday morning. It's cold 31 degrees with the rain here in Enid, and it could be a snowy day. We'll have to wait and find out. Thank you for joining us for the next 30 minutes. We've got news, weather, sports, and we'll have Mayor Bill Shewey, as he's always our annual January guest. He will be with us in just a few moments. We're live streaming around the globe at enidtv.org and also coming to you in live television on Channel 12 and 112 right here in Enid, Oklahoma. This is Good Morning Enid. We're glad that you're with us. It's time to rise and shine.
Thank you so much again for joining us today. It is a little bit chilly out there and it is raining, so grab that raincoat if you're on your way out the door because you are definitely going to need it. It's currently sitting at 31 degrees and it looks like it's going to get to a high of 35 later on and a low tonight of 26 degrees. The winds are out of the northwestern side, 5 to 6 miles an hour. But
they switched.
Yeah, they switched since this morning when I looked. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty chilly day. Could snow later on, but wintry.
Yeah, I think it's going to stay around the low 30s. So any time in Oklahoma when it gets to 30 to 35, we could see snow. Well, let's look at the 3-day forecast. We'll get back to the current weather in here in just a little bit. The 3-day forecast, see if I can look at those numbers. You know, my eye doctor says I need to really change those glasses out. There we go. Looks like Friday, Saturday, Sunday going to hang close to the 50s. However, it looks like we're going to have some cold weather, but mostly clear skies. So it looks like, I guess today's the weather day, and then for the next 3 days and the weekend will be pretty nice. So that's not bad for January. Well, again, welcome. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome, everyone. We have a new set, new design, new look, and new everything, and we're glad that you're with us. And we're thrilled that we have Derek Silas, the bow tie guy, who's rather GQ-ish looking today, looking rather sharp. I think the word is dapper. Derek, you look rather dapper today. And he's going to help us with the weather on this day. I think it's our record temps, Derek.
Yes.
Is that right?
Let's check out those record temps for today. Since they began keeping records, our record low is a -11 in 1911. And the record high is 73 in 1997. That is a big gap. But that's typical weather for Oklahoma.
Isn't that the truth, though?
Yes.
In Oklahoma, -11, then it could be 73 degrees playing golf weather. So,
right.
Well, okay. And again, thank you for joining us. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a safe New Year. I mentioned that this is the start of our fourth year, but I was politely corrected. Where does the time go? This is the start of our fifth year. And Mayor Bill Shewey is our special guest this morning. And he's been with us on our very first January show for the last 4, make it 5 years. And so we appreciate the opportunity to bring you live television here in Enid, Oklahoma. Okay, well, we need to find out if the Thunder won. They went to the West Coast to play the Lakers. And at 7:33, we want to turn to the bow tie guy, Derek Silas. He has the Oklahoma Minute.
Well, this week, Senator Elizabeth Warren announces she will run for president as a Democratic candidate in 2020. And Melissa Dale, an Enid native, and she's a current Harvard Assistant Professor of Economics, has been recently named one of the decade's 8 best young economists in the December 18th issue of The Economist magazine. Last night, as Steve mentioned, Thunder played the Lakers with a win in Oklahoma City's favor, 107-100. Tomorrow, they will go up against Portland at 9:30 p.m. It will air on ESPN and Fox Sports Oklahoma. On this day in history, 1959, President Eisenhower signs a special proclamation admitting the territory of Alaska into the Union as the 49th and largest state. And that's the Oklahoma Minute.
And that's the latest and greatest. I I failed to mention or take a moment to look at the radar. I don't know if we can look at that right now. I was so excited about the 50-degree weather for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday versus bitterly cold in January. So you can see Oklahoma is kind of under the water blanket. I think the pink area is kind of the sleet and snow and things that, or excuse me, the blue is the snow, and the pink area is really covering all of Oklahoma into Arkansas. So it looks like really kind of a wet day. And some of the reports that we've received, Oklahoma City south is really getting the snow. So we need the moisture, but we'll take the snow, but we'll leave the ice elsewhere. Well, again, good morning, Enid. Thank you for joining us on this January 3rd, 2019. Everybody having a good New Year?
Thus far?
Thus far? You went home to the North Country.
Yes, I did.
Tell us about Minnesota. Was it?
It was cold. It snowed a bunch, so it was kind of nice to come back and it being.
And thaw out.
Yeah, it's going to be 50 degrees this weekend, and can't complain about coming back to that.
All right. Well, if you have photos of when you go to a very cold place or something, you can send them to. We've got a new set of Holstein cows. There they go. They're still checking their mailbox. So
We have a chicken now too.
Oh wow! I'm going to have to really look at all the livestock that we have. Anyway, they're at the mailbox. So if you have photos you want to send us for your New Year, send them to gme@enid.org, gme@enid.org. So. Okay, the morning is moving along, and again, we're glad that you're here with us. We always turn to Erin because she's the only one who knows what's happening. So, Erin, what's happening?
Well, since it is the beginning of January, and Steve mentioned it is going to be pretty nice out this weekend in the 50s, we are starting off with a bald eagle watch out in Jet, Oklahoma at the Salt Plains Wildlife Refuge. This is a chance on Friday and Saturday, the 4th and the 5th, to go out and see bald eagles and learn about their life history and recovery story. You meet out at the Wildlife Refuge at 4 p.m. and you'll be shuttled out onto the plains. And after that, you'll get hot chocolate, coffee, and snacks. And if you didn't know this, Oklahoma is one of the top 10 states to view bald eagles during the winter. There's over 750 to 1,000 eagles here that gather during harsh winters up north. So it's a great opportunity to go check out some bald eagles if you've never done this. And after that, we have the KNID AgriFest. That is next weekend, the 11th and 12th. It is at the Chisholm Trail Expo Center from 9 to 6 on Friday and 9 to 5 on Saturday. It is the largest farm show in northwest Oklahoma. There's going to be seminars, demonstrations, vendor booths, and activities, and there's over 250 booths. So this is going to be a huge festival, and if you're looking for any kind of farm equipment or just want to learn a little bit more about it, this is definitely a great event. And finally, we have the Enid MLK celebration, and this is on January 19th, so it's in a couple of weeks. It's at the C&B Center Grand Ballroom. There's a march that starts at 3 p.m., and the celebration is at 4 p.m. afterwards. There's going to be inspirational speakers, motivational music, diversity awards, poster and essay contest prizes, and food. So it's going to be another really fun event. And that's what's happening.
Okay, did anybody set any new goals or new resolutions? You know, it's typically a new year. No?
Not really.
Yeah.
Just
Nothing that you want to tell on public television. You want to kind of keep it to yourself. So, well, I hope you enjoy our new look. We want to say special thanks to Penn Klein, Dane Tate, and A.J. Wells for their work behind the scenes. We have a new look here in January 2019. Our studio size is still the same. It's still the size of a closet, but it looks really, really big, and we appreciate their work. Excuse me. Behind the scenes. My New Year's resolution is to get rid of this cough and cold that showed up here the last couple of weeks. Anyways, you can see our backdrop is really impressive, and we appreciate their work behind the scene to make all that we do look good. So it's 7:38, holding around 31 degrees. The high today is 35, so it's not going to get much warmer. Again, there's a chance of ongoing rain today, along with the chance of snow. So, well, our special guest is in the room. No, that's not Elvis. It is Mayor Bill Shewey, and he'll be with us right after this. Good morning, Enid. Again, thank you for joining us on this Thursday, January 3rd at 7:40 in the morning. And we received an official weather update from Mayor Bill Shewey that it's sleeting a little bit. So again, we're holding steady around 31 degrees. So we'll probably have rain, a little bit of snow, and some sleet. And Mayor, Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Do you realize this is the 5th time that you've joined us? We start off the new year with the mayor.
No, I did not realize it. Had been
I was saying
4
4
years.
earlier, then I was reminded by everyone saying, no, Steve, this is our 5th year of our show. So we appreciate you being here. And it's kind of a tag team effort. You're with us with the remainder of the show. And Aaron's got some questions, and I've got some questions, but I think you'll pass the test. You know the answers to all of these.
Good. Glad to be here. ETN is a great asset for the city of Enid.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us today. I just had a quick question for you about, since it's the beginning of a brand new year, do you have any event or anything that sticks out for you in 2018 that you'd like to tell us about?
Water.
Water.
Water will always be the #1 project in the city of Enid, Oklahoma. We're on our way. We're gathering the money, and the project should be finalized in about 4 years. So we have a lot of work to do.
Do you sense that the state of Oklahoma is watching Enid during this process? Because we're talking a $300+ million water pipeline project, moving water from the east part of the state to the west part of the state. Do you feel like we're in a fishbowl and other communities that need water as the resource? They're watching Enid, how they pull this off.
They are definitely watching Enid and with our water project, and the city manager gets calls and I get calls to ask about different things that are happening with the water program. Oklahoma City is even doing the same thing, and we compare notes with them and they compare notes with us.
Sure.
They're pumping theirs from Lake Sardis, which I think is about 100 miles
Yep.
northeast of Oklahoma City.
And their pipeline is 6 foot
Yes.
diameter. I've been in some conversations with Oklahoma City folks as well, with my counterpart down there in the public relations world, and yeah, it's similar. Water is the new gold, as they say. Well, let's look at 2019 real quick, Mayor. Your term will end up in May, I guess.
May the 6th.
May the 6th. But who's counting, right? May
No,
6th.
that's my charter.
And so for 2019, what does the commission face? What are some key issues?
Well, we've got a hotel that we hope to see finished somewhere around July or August, and we're building a new terminal at Enid Woodring Airport.
That's right.
And they will work along with Vance Air Force Base, and they are out of the ground with the new terminal, and they will bring in the new terminal, and they will demolish the terminal that is there now.
And it certainly needs to be updated.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, switching off, kind of going back to your experience before mayor. You were a banker before being mayor, correct?
Only for 52 years.
Yeah. How did that help you with your term as mayor?
Well, that helps because you have to be organized and you have to work as a team, which we have done with the city council. And it helps because the team that you're working with, you have to depend on them to do their job. And in Enid, Oklahoma, that is a very, very good plus for us. Everybody cooperates and sees different jobs completed. That part of being the mayor is a lot of fun. We do a lot of things right in Enid, Oklahoma.
I hear you say that phrase from time to time. We do a lot of things right. It's 7:44 on this Thursday morning, January 3rd. Again, we're holding steady around the freezing mark at 32 degrees. High today is going to be 35, so not much of a fluctuation at all in the temperature. We've had reports of the rain, the sleet, and we know it's snowing in southern part of the state, so just be mindful of that as you plan for your day. Well, 2018 was a big year for Enid and also for you personally. The Mayor's Council of Oklahoma had this selection process, and lo and behold, they said Mayor Bill Shewey is the Oklahoma Mayor of the Year. So The question is, what does that recognition from a statewide organization, what does that mean to Bill Shewey?
It was a surprise. And
some of us worked hard to keep it a surprise, you know?
That happened. My entire family kept it a surprise. And when you're voted on by your peers, it makes it a very special award.
And I think on the other side of that, it was fun for us. I know Derek Silas, myself, was involved in that process of dealing with your family behind the scenes. It was kind of awkward trying to keep things secret from the mayor, but it was really fun for us. So.
It was. And I happen to be on the OML board, and I get a lot of input from them and help all of the cities and towns in the state of Oklahoma. And that's 470
right.
that are part of the Oklahoma Municipal League.
Well, we're certainly proud of you as the 2018 Mayor of the Year for the state of Oklahoma.
Yes, and you definitely deserved it.
Thank you.
You've done wonderfully. What caused you to want to run for mayor back before you started?
Well, I had...
that was a polite question, because she was going to say, what were you thinking, you know? So.
No, I really hadn't thought about it. I was still working at the Central National Bank, and my family said, my grandkids especially said, Papa, you need to run for mayor. I said, well, I hadn't even given that any thought, but I was getting ready to retire, so I thought, you know, I'll try it and see what happens. Well, they were the hardest workers. They were all in high school at the time. They've all graduated from high school now, and two of them from college. So we put together some information, and lo and behold, on the first day of December, I signed to be a candidate for the mayor of Enid, Oklahoma. Well, I grew up in a little town called Orienta. Mm-hmm. It's 6 miles north of Fairview in a farming community. And my wife said, you know, your dad, your granddad was the mayor of Orienta, Oklahoma, and your dad was called the mayor of Orienta, Oklahoma. And Orienta is a population of 5 people. When we were all home, we could all meet at the breakfast table. So I thought, you know, I could do that. Orienta was a population of 5, Enid population of 50,000. A little different, but it's kind of a catchy phrase.
It's 7:47 on this Thursday morning. If we could we get I think I hear the rain. Do you hear the rain, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
let's see if we can put the current weather up for our forecast for today as we're talking with the mayor.
Ooh, it is pretty chilly right now. It's raining or sleeting, as the mayor said. It's 31 degrees right now, high of 35 later on today, and a low tonight of 26. So watch out for the snow, and definitely watch out for the sleet. Those roads are probably going to be really slick out there.
So we wanted to remind you of that. We're going to have more with Mayor Bill Shewey in just a few moments. But again, we wanted to give you that update on the weather for this Thursday, January 3rd.
Yeah.
Let's see, probably ought to go back and listen to more news.
Yeah, so if you missed it this morning, if you want to hear the news or the weather or the Thunder game score, we have one person that we turn to, and that is Derek Silas, the bow tie guy with the Oklahoma Minute.
Thank you, Aaron. This week, actually, Senator Elizabeth Warren announced her candidacy for the Democratic candidate to run for president in 2020. And Melissa Dale, an Enid native and current Harvard Assistant Professor of Economics, has been recently named one of the decade's 8 best young economists in the December 18th issue of The Economist magazine. Last night, Thunder took on the Lakers with the win in their favor, 107-100. They'll take on Portland tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. It'll air on ESPN and Fox Sports Oklahoma. On this day's history, 1959, President Eisenhower signs a proclamation admitting the territory of Alaska into the Union as the 49th and largest state. That's the Oklahoma Minute.
Thank you, Derek. It's 7:49 as the rain's coming down. And as you were driving to the studio, you said it was sleeting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So no ice, just close enough with sleet.
It wasn't, it's not cold enough to freeze, but
we're 2 degrees away from it, right?
I know we are, and that's when the sleet comes the quickest.
Well, Mayor, I am one person that knows, along with many, of the work behind the scenes that you do. Being mayor is a lot more than showing up every Tuesday to city council meetings and preside over meetings. There's a lot of preparation meetings that you go to. There's a lot of boards that you serve on, a lot of reading, just a lot of preparation. And you mentioned being a grandfather and grandkids just a few moments ago. So when your term ends, Mayor, or excuse me, in May 2019, what are you going to do with your free time? Any thoughts?
I haven't given that a whole lot of thought, to be honest with you. I have another 4 months to fill out my term, second term, so something will come along, but I'm just concentrating on what we do in Enid, Oklahoma right now.
If I may, to tag on to this question, what are some of the things that people may not know? It's kind of the behind-the-scenes mayor stuff that you do.
Well, being on 8 boards of directors, you have a lot of meetings. You actually know a little bit about a whole lot of what's going on in Enid and Northwest Oklahoma. And a lot of it is confidential, and we all have to abide by that on the city council.
And it's one thing to keep in mind that I think it's real easy for us to forget. If we stay in Garfield County all the time, we lose sight that we're the 9th largest city in the state of Oklahoma.
That's exactly right.
And if we just stay here all the time, we don't realize how other communities are looking at us. Yeah. But so what? We're the 9th largest. Well, it's big business.
It is.
Big business.
We have I noticed we have a population of a little over 52,000, close to 53,000, and that was more than a year ago when we were at that level. We serve a lot of customers, a lot of people in Northwest Oklahoma. You hear anywhere from 130,000 to 150,000 people. We're very important to the Northwest part of the state.
We're the hub of the wheel, is that right?
That is correct.
Politely, I
could not have said it better myself, but we are the hub.
I would never have guessed that we were that big of a city. That's very impressive. Do you have any recommendations, since all the elections are going to be coming up, do you have any recommendations for people who want to run for a city government position?
Well, we have several that are running right now, and the election, I think, is February the 12th. And it will be a very positive election. We have 3 running for mayor, 2 running for Ward 5, and I've got one more. Didn't draw an opponent.
I've got another question, but I'm going to hold off. It has to be about working together, and we'll do that in just for a few moments. But it's 7:53 on this Thursday morning. And let's take a look at the 3-day weather, if we could, and then we'll talk about some city announcements.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be much nicer this weekend than it is today. It's going to be up in the 50s for the highs, and the lows are just around freezing and getting a little bit warmer towards the end of the weekend. So if you're looking for a nice weekend, I think for January, 50 degrees it'll be beautiful out.
And it looks like the sun is coming up on our GME logo. Is that correct? The sun's right.
Yeah, so it'll be nice and sunny too.
Well, due to the holiday, New Year's Day holiday, which was Tuesday, the city council meeting will be tonight. The study session will get underway at 5 p.m. this evening, and then the city council meeting in the council chambers gets underway at 6:30. And just as a reminder, we live stream these meetings. Very few communities in the state of Oklahoma are doing that, but we're utilizing the latest technology. So you can go to enidtv.org on your computer, smartphone, your devices like that, and you can watch the council, the study session and council meetings live streamed. And then we're also airing it on channel 12 here in Enid, and also in high definition on 112. So anyway, Thursday tonight is the city council meeting. Then we'll be back on our Tuesday schedule in just a little bit. Upcoming at 8 o'clock, I had the opportunity some time ago to visit with Betsy Randolph. Betsy is, there's a great picture of Betsy, Lieutenant Betsy Randolph, I should say, of the Oklahoma Highway Patrol. Betsy is an Enid product. She's an Enid native. She went to the school Bible.
Oklahoma Bible Academy.
No, it's another one.
Okay.
We discussed it yesterday, and forgive me for. Anyway, she's an Enid product. It was a great visit with that, Betsy, and that's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. So, okay, Aaron,
Time for my favorite segment?
Yes.
We have Charlotte has a beautiful white dog named Jack Frost to show us today, so take it away, Charlotte.
Hi, good morning. Today we have Jack Frost. Jack Frost is in pen 13. He is a 2-year-old male shepherd mix. He's already neutered, so it's just the cost of a rabies shot to adopt. He's really sweet and loving, and he loves other dogs. So come by and meet Jack.
Unofficially, it was Bethel Baptist School that Lieutenant Randolph went to.
Yes.
And I know that the lieutenant's parents are still here in Enid. Anyway, it's a great interview. She's very accommodating, and that's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. So at 7:56, we still hear the rain in the studio, and a little pinging sound kind of reminds us that probably sleet in the air. Our very special guest for the 5th time here on Good Morning Enid is Mayor Bill Shewey, as his term ends in May of this year. One of the questions that we wanted to ask you, Mayor, what is one of the key ingredients for the Enid City Commission to work together? There's such a diverse background, diverse education, diverse upbringing, but yet there's a common thread of working together. Have you been able to determine what that key ingredient is for everybody to get along?
Well, we do work together, can't say that. We do work together very well, and we're able to discuss things and agree, not to disagree, and that part of working together is the way I've been trained all of my life, from grade school, junior high school, and working with people. And to me, it's a lot of fun to see things get accomplished, and the only way they get accomplished is to work together. And you know, it's an old phrase, but you have to work together and enjoy what you're doing. In the case of being on the city council, you obviously sign up to do the job, and you pay your money and you run for the election. It's the process of democracy.
Mayor, we have about a minute to go. The State of the City address will be coming up a little bit earlier this year. It'll be your last one in April. For those who have not attended a State of the City address, what is it all about?
It's all about Enid, Oklahoma, and it's well attended, and we talk about some of the accomplishments that we've had in Enid, Oklahoma, but we also talk about some of the things that we haven't gotten accomplished. But that's a long list that goes into the future, and we have a lot of things on the program right now to get things accomplished. And the longest one that I'm aware of right now is the water program from Call Lake, and that stretches out to 2050 right now. This is 2019, so we will always have that as a project to work on, and others will arise in the future.
Mayor Bill Shewey, thank you very much for being with us today. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
So good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Don't forget that raincoat on your way out, and make it a great day.